So I was going to ask you what property cannot be exchanged. I think you touched on a little bit. Personal
Yeah,
property.
yeah, there are probably three categories. One would be personal property you can't exchange. That was a change in the tax code that came about with tax reform a few years ago. So the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act eliminated personal property exchanges. Prior to that, people did exchanges on aircraft and artwork and rental cars and equipment and combines and tractors. And as part of tax reform, they agreed in Congress to meet some different budget reconciliation rules. They said, okay, we're going to get rid of personal property exchanges, but leave it for real estate. When we look at real property, there are really just two types of property that don't qualify. One's pretty obvious. The house you live in doesn't qualify. So if you live in it and it's your residence, there's another provision in the tax code called Section 121 that deals with the house that you live in for 2 out of 5 years. So that's the one type. The other type is any property that is held for sale purposes rather than long-term investment. So examples of that would be maybe a developer. They put up a project and they're going to sell it off. They can't do an exchange on that because their intent is to hold it for sale. They might make money on that, but it's not being held for long-term investment or rental income. And
Okay.
another category that comes up with real estate would be properties like what we call a fix and flip. Somebody gets a property at a low price, they spruce it up, and then they immediately want to sell it for that short-term profit. You can't do an exchange on a fix and flip. So to summarize, primary residence doesn't work, and then any property where the intent is to hold for sale versus long-term investment.